Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Doodle Robot, and today you've tuned in for my part 2 March coloring book and supplies haul. It's kind of a lot of stuff. This is a very high pile here, but I've got it broken down into two categories. That was book outlet haul, and oh, I have some tea to spill on them. We'll probably start with my Blick materials here. This is from my Vegas trip, which some of you have seen. You can fast forward if you saw that, but I find that most people tune in for the finished pages and the haul videos. So, and then a few dedicated souls, thank you so much, tune in for everything. Sorry about all the crinkling. This is what I bought at Blick. All right, we'll get rid of the crinkling. Drives me crazy too. I got some Tombow markers. This is the Blick in an actual Blick store. I walked in person. So I bought a few things, but stuff at the Blick store is kind of a bit more expensive. A lot more expensive, I would say, than buying it online. Although online you have to reach a certain threshold to get free shipping. So I bought some more Tombow markers. And looking at the line actually in store, it's a good thing I went in store. I would have liked to buy more, but I refrained. I still have a whole bunch of the hoo-hoo ones to use up. The line is very nice. I think, what does it have, 108 colors maybe? Somewhere around there. A very reasonable amount. But the difference between the Tombow line and, say, a hoo-hoo is that it seems like most of the hoo-hoo markers are either medium to dark colors with very few lights, whereas within the Tombow range there are lots of light pastel-y colors. And you know, if you're with a marker, you can only, it's not like paint where you can just add white, or you know, with colored pencil you can draw light, you can blend it out with a blender tool or add white, whatever. You know, you don't have many choices. So I think I'm gonna fully switch. I'm gonna use up my hoo-hoos, of course, but I'm going to fully switch to this line because it just seems better, and plus you can buy them open stock. Yeah, they're more expensive, but, you know, I like a range. I like my pale colors and my dark colors and midtones. I don't want them all to be at one end of the range, and with markers you get that a lot. So I bought a few, mostly pastels of Tombow. I got one colored pencil. This is a Derwent Lightfast. You know, being in store, you get to try a couple of pencils. I tried the Caran d'Ache Luminance ones. I did not like the way they colored. You know me, I like my Prismacolor, so I like a nice soft lead. And the Derwent Lightfast seemed to be closest to the Prismacolor, and I really like this it's light aqua. I really like this pale color. Prismacolor doesn't really have this kind of pale aqua. They used to have a Deco Aqua, which was pretty much like this, but they discontinued it. Why Prismacolor? Why? So I just got one colored pencil. I'm always kind of disappointed when I buy things and they're not Prismacolors. So I, you know, may as well not buy pencils. To try, I got some Staedtler fine liners. I got a F and an S. I don't know what that means. I'm not familiar with Staedtler, but the point looks like this on the Staedtler. That was the S, and the F looks like that. So just to kind of add to my collection of fine liners, I'm doing black and white books and lots of designs in my Take a Book to Work book, so I can't have too many of those. They're going to run out soon enough. And then I got a few, I wanted to get so many more, but I got a few Neocolor 2s. Let's see, and I gotta say, I took my swatch book with me to Blick, and, oh, you're way high up there. Gosh, that's for all the big stack of books. I took my swatch book to Blick with me, or into the store, I should say, and I have what do I have? I think I have the 40 set of Neocolor 2s. That's a very well-rounded set, I gotta say. Not a lot of holes in that set. So there were like, I think I got two fleshy kind of tones. A dark brown, which was kind of lacking. What is this dark brown I got? I want to say it's burnt umber. Oh, Van Dyke brown. Um, a dark red, a more true red. The reds were kind of lacking a little bit. And kind of an aqua color, blue, green, and a dark purple. But yeah, if you're not sure about the Neo 2 colors, I think the 40 set's a really good set to start out with and just add to it slowly. Like I said, these were, I was comparing the prices to in store versus online, and they're quite a bit more, so I would recommend buying online. But like I said, you have to meet that threshold and I don't live where there's a Blick, so I generally always have to buy online, but I just kind of save up for my Prismacolors and stuff like that, and it's not hard to reach the threshold these days. Everything's kind of so expensive. So that's what I bought in the in-store Blick in Las Vegas. So much fun to go there and have a look at things. It was really worth it just to have a look at the Tombos, because now I know I want to kind of switch over to that. And then I can just, when I use a color, I can just buy another one open stock. So much easier than having to buy a whole pack. So in one of the stores, I think I went in Barnes & Noble in 2 states, in Utah and Vegas. Driving there and back, I had to drive through 3 states, Arizona, Utah, and Vegas. And the road to Vegas kind of weaves in and out of Utah and Arizona, so my little Google thing kept scaring the tar out of me. You're in Arizona, you're in Utah, you're in Arizona. Like, oh, wow, you don't have to announce that every time. I saw a million dogs in a Barnes & Noble somewhere, I don't know where. And this was kind of like my least favorite of Lulu Mayo. And I watched it online and I'm like, I don't know, I don't think so. Kind of on a quest to kind of fill in the gaps in my book collection, like get full sets of things. But I was surprised when I looked at this in the store. I'm like, oh, I like this better than I thought. It seems better in person than it did online to me. So I got to pick that up at a Barnes & Noble somewhere. Also at a Barnes & Noble somewhere, like I said, I went in 4 or 5, 6 different ones. I can't remember now. I found the Unofficial Wheel of Time. This is up on my channel as a flip through from the hotel room, handheld. But I really like the images in this book. I don't know anything about this book or TV show or whatever it is. I think some people said it was on Amazon, maybe. I'm not sure. The TV show. I just like the images. It's kind of medieval times, has a little Asian feel, also a little like Persian feel to it too. Kind of mixes all those influences, but I really like the images in this book, so I got that. One of the last stores I stopped in on my way home, Target, obviously, I saw Vex's book, and we never have this at my Walmart. My Walmart always has like the same 3 books over and over and over and over. They're old. One of them is Vex's other one, which I don't particularly like it. But I had seen a flip through of this, and I was surprised when I saw it in Target, and I'm like, I really like this. I like he has a little bit of Kirby-esque to him, but in my mind, it's very graffiti-ish, and I love graffiti. I love doodling. I love graffiti. I like this one a lot, as opposed to his other books. And what I like is, I like these pages that are full of kind of the graffiti. That one really looks graffiti-ish. It looks like a wall that, one graffiti artist did that, and then another did that on top of it, another did that on top of it, and the last guy did this tiger on top of everybody else's stuff. I like that sort of history graffiti wall look, but some of these have super blank backgrounds where I could alter the page in graffiti, and I love to do graffiti style stuff, so I was excited about this one. There are flip-throughs of this online already. Super cool. For some reason, I just like it so much better than what's the other one called? Creatopia or something? I think this is his newest one. Maybe there's a publishing time. 2022, so yeah, it's got to be newer than the other one. I found birds in the Barnes and Noble, and it was days before it was supposed to come out. Maybe almost a week before. I was so shocked. I also found Alien World at the same time, and it wasn't supposed to come out for another week or so as well. Super excited about that. At least from the date that Amazon put for its release time. So maybe in-person stores get stuff sooner. I don't know. I don't live in a town to be able to research that. This is so cute, though. I was certain. I don't generally pre-order books, but in this book's case, I'm like, I'm not pre-ordering that. I'm not gonna like the birds book. But when I saw it, I'm like, oh, they're so cute. And birds and Christmas hats. Does it not always work? It always works. And this page, look at this little guy skating. He's so cute. I want to adopt him. Anyway. Yep, it's much better than I thought it would. For some reason, when it comes to bird books, I always think I'm not going to like them. I don't know why. I must have something against birds. Look at this page. It's like, Where's Waldo? Oy. I have plans for that page, maybe. I'm looking for a wallpaper page like that to do my annual Star Wars thing. I'm going to try to do it this year. I'm pretty busy and tired, though. Alien Worlds, like I said, I picked that up at a Barnes & Noble way before it was supposed to come out here in America. Oh, this might be Kirby's best book ever. Of course, I'm going to like it because it's space and aliens and stuff, but you may disagree. That's okay. It's the Precious. It's right up there with Thomas Love Tomic. The one that starts with a D. I can't think of what it's called. And in another Barnes & Noble, like I said, I went in many Barnes & Noble, and I used great restraint in purchasing stuff. I saw Mystic Animals also in the Annex book section for $8 in case you live near Barnes & Noble. I wanted to get it, but I'm like, nah, I've already gotten so many. So, A Passion for Japan. This was actually in my Amazon saved for later part of my cart. And it's much more on Amazon, so when I saw it there, I'm like, oh, I'm getting it. Definitely. I'm going to save like $5, so we're getting it. And it's weird because, I mean, I was kind of conservative with my purchases because I knew I had 12 books from Book Outlet coming. That's so nice. Oh, I love that. So, I have another book of hers in my Book Outlet stuff that's coming up. So yeah, I tried to be conservative because I knew I had some Book Outlet stuff. Boy, I have a story to tell you from Book Outlet. They're kind of mean. Spoiler. All right, this is also a flip on my channel. I got a flip of this one, and the Wheel of Time, all from Vegas, my Vegas hotel room. My Cat Mandala. This is brand new. I think it just came out. It's by... Who's it by? Where's the name? Marika Zotino. And I was like, I feel like that name sounds familiar. And it does, because I have another book by her. I may yet have another book by her, but she did this Tranquil Trees book. This is a Dover book, which is awesome. It's got all trees in it, of course, so I'm going to like it. Kind of working on that one right now. I just talked about this in my finished pages video, my whips and finished pages. But this jumped off the shelf at me. I'm like, oh, cat mandalas, I'm not going to like that. And then I opened it, and I'm like, oh, this is coming home with me right away. I kind of see things in a new light. This is a big book. It's like a 12 by 12 book. I see things in a new light since I've started doing the black and white book. And the design books that I take to work with me and just peck away at a little bit every day. I have a new appreciation for designy things and kind of new ideas on what to do with them. So I've been motivated by that lately. There's a whole flip through of this on my channel, but it's really good. It's kind of a fresh take on mandalas, I think. I like it. All of you cat lovers out there might like it. All right, so Book Outlet. They were having, this is my third order this month from Book Outlet. In my first order, they had so many mythographic books, and I swore I would never order from Book Outlet again, because the first time I ordered from Book Outlet, I got a whole bunch of Lulu Mayo books. And usually when I go there, I can't find $35 worth of stuff to order, so I'm not going to bother. But they all came, that was the saddest order ever, and I'm like, I'm never ordering from them again. When you order from Book Outlet, you are very likely to get damaged books. And I said that in my first video, and I got a lot of hate for that. I don't think I told people, but a lot of people, I think it was probably the company, like people who work at the company targeting me, and I deleted a lot of those comments, saying, well, Book Outlet has overstocked books. This one doesn't have a remainder mark, but they've been handled by the public, and I'm like, but some of these were so bad that I'm like, you could have sorted out some and had them at more of a discounted price, because they're actually damaged books, like not nice overstock books. They're damaged. And most of my order was like that. I was really, really angry. I didn't even complain to them or anything. In those days, I would get Amazon damaged stuff and Book Outlet, and I didn't complain. I'm not like that anymore. So when I ordered earlier in the month, there was a whole bunch of mythographics. I got quite a few mythographics. And then I checked back later in the month, and they still had a whole, it seems like a month or two after Christmas, they get a lot of good books. And the rest of the time, it's like slim pickings. But then they were having a sale for buy 5, get 1 free. Must have been, because I got 12. And I didn't think I would have, be able to find 5 to get 1 free, but I found 12. So I feel like I kind of just tuned in at the right time. And this time, when my first Book Outlet in earlier March the box came opened. Like, it's a bad box to send books in. It's poorly designed. The box, it flips around on itself, and the edges curl up, and then they have this little flap that they glue down. The flap doesn't go all the way to the bottom, but because these edges curl up on the side, the flap can't stick to it. I'm a sculpture teacher, so it's not structurally sound at all. The minute you set other heavy boxes on top of it, it's going to crunch down, and it comes open. And it flies open. Okay, so I noticed that on the first thing. I was surprised that all my books were in there and they were all intact and okay. I'm like, well, okay. It's probably some weird fluke, but that's fine. When I ordered again, my boxes came and both of them were open. They were severely damaged. Severely damaged. I was so damaged that before I even opened them, I took pictures. There were dings and like total crushed areas. And each flap flipped open, so it was open on both ends. I'm surprised that all the books were still in there. That's amazing. And I looked through, and there's some damaged books. Not as bad as the first order, but there's one damaged book that I complained about, and when I get to it, I'll tell you how that whole thing went. They're nasty. They're a nasty company. I'm not impressed. This Dragons and Magical Beasts Extreme Coloring Book. I was on the fence about this. But now that I have it, I'm like, oh, I like this. I know it seems very busy, but you don't necessarily have to color all that busy. Now, there's a way to make, the focal point stuff pop out and the rest of it to recede. I have a lot of ideas about this. I'm glad I got this one. I think this was like in the $5 range. I basically did my strategy where I order a whole bunch. One order was the expensive books, so I got a nice expensive book for free, and one order was the cheaper books, where I got a cheaper book for free. And guys, I know you're staring at a little like freaky pony here, Coloring Harmony, Dazzling Designs, My Little Pony. I guess these are My Little Ponies. And I saw this one, and before I discount something, I go look at a flip through, and nobody's more surprised than me that this book I like. I like this book a lot. I see a lot of pinks in my future. But like, this is so cute. Is this My Little Pony? It says Little Pony, but I don't see, oh, My Little Pony. Yes, it is. I missed the whole My Little Pony thing. I was already an adult. This stuff's so awesome. It kind of reminds me of my troll book. I'm surprised I like this one. This doesn't seem for little kids. This seems too complicated for little kids, but look at that. A little kid would do that? No way. No way. Those little bitty books, man, no. Anyway, this book is super cool, and I'm shocked that I would buy something like this. But I like it a lot. All right, here's the other Sarah Muzio book that I got, Zen Harmony. I love her Asian books. I think I might start collecting her now. Maybe, we'll see. Ah, I love that tree page. Awesome tree page. Similar to the other Japanese book. There's also a book called Wa of hers that I like. So, Zen Harmony. This was from the cheap box. I think it was around $5. Ah, this was from the expensive box. Lost Ocean. This is the one book I don't have from Johanna Basford, so now I have it. It was in about, I think it was about $10. I've never seen it go below $14 on Amazon, me personally. Every once in a while I look, and I've never seen it below that, so I got it. I'm still quite irked about this poster situation back here. It's supposed to be a 4-page fold-out, but I think in the reprints, you know, after the initial one came out, they chopped it in half. They chopped a fish right in half. And this was the page I wanted, like, the most, way back when I ordered it once and sent it back. But it was super inexpensive, and I was getting a book free, so I filled in the one gap I have in my Johanna Basford collection. All right. Celtic Spirit coloring book. Must be by Cleopatra Matzel. Super cool. What you'd expect. It's Celtic designs. This one, these are all labeled. Like, this is Trophy. This is Triscally. I don't know what that is. Tree of Life. Triangle. I'm sure there must be some directions here on interpreting the knots, or maybe not. I can't remember if this was in the expensive box or the less expensive box, but very nice. Nice paper, too. Good quality paper. I got Tentacle Kitty. Another surprise, because like I said, I go and I don't buy anything blind. I look at things, and I rather like them. A lot of the corners are damaged on these books. I noticed there's one artist in here. I have a book of hers. Pop Manga, Cute and Creepy. Camilla D'Erico? Yes, Camilla D'Erico. So these are all the people, I guess, that illustrated. John Merritt, I've seen his name before. I've seen her name before. I don't recognize these other ones, but some of these I really like. A lot of the ones in the beginning I really like. Some of them look like they're on alien planets, which of course I like those. Maybe there's a story here. It's probably, I feel like this is based on a cartoon or something. It doesn't say. I feel like it's probably a cartoon or a comic thing. And a couple things I'm really excited about. Remember, in Vegas I got the Vex book, which is very graffiti-esque, and so is this one. This is John Bergerman's Burger World. It's a good play on his name. Again, I couldn't find a flip through of this, so maybe I'll do one, but it's very graffiti-esque. I like these pages less, with just blobby little characters, but I like the ones that are all jumbled like that. And yes, I like Kirby's early work where he puts all his graffiti stuff in there, his little doodles. So, yeah, super excited about this one. There's some pages in here, maybe where John has colored them himself. I like that one a lot. So yeah, if you want, I'll do a flip through of that for people who like graffiti. It might just be me. I don't think everybody has my taste in coloring books. This is not supporting anything here. I don't do this sort of thing. The Stoner's coloring book. But again, it has a very graffiti-esque feel to it on a lot of the pages. I mean, it's probably a variety of different artists. Maybe it's Shutterstock or something. I don't know. You Are the Spark. Oh. Created by Jared Hoffman. That doesn't say he made the pictures. So I don't know. It doesn't say illustrated by, it just says created. So maybe it's his work, maybe not, maybe. We'll see. Some of it looks like different artists. It's got some very graffiti-esque things. And it's not as like stonery as some books that I've seen, where there's somebody smoking pot or doing something in every picture. Like, you know, you see that in a lot of pictures. I don't get that feel here. It's just, it feels more graffiti-esque to me. Oh, that's very cool. Very interesting. And we have Gulliver's New Travels. I've seen this book on Book Outlet for years. And it's always been in my cart waiting, and I've never ordered it. But this time, I'm like, oh, I'm getting it. And it too, it's got kind of a Zen Doodle meets graffiti kind of vibe to it as well. Very cool. I believe this is, I was watching the flip through on Coloring Queen. Is that her channel? She has a lot of flip throughs. She's been on YouTube a long time. I think this is a famous artist in Australia. And it does seem, it's hard to see, but it does seem like it has a little bit of that Aboriginal art flavor to it. You can see it in some places. When I traveled the world when I was younger with a backpack, no cell phone, just the backpack, no cell phone and computer documenting it. I was blown away by the Aboriginal art in Australia. I had to go in every museum. Not only the old Aboriginal art, but wow, some of the like new now this was in the 90s, so it was a long time ago, but some of the new Aboriginal art of the time just blew me away. It was so abstract and beautiful and colorful. I loved it. So this is a good book. I'm glad I finally got it. And because I have loved my Dracula books so much, and somebody online told me that this book was made by the same publisher or something. It's got a different illustrator, Odessa Begay. I think I've seen her. I think she has other books out. But this is Poe, so it's kind of dark like Dracula. And different style, but similar, I guess we'll say. I mean, it's a different artist, but this one doesn't disappoint. And I remember looking at this a year or two ago, and thinking, nah, I don't want that one. It's not my style, but my style, like, of what I like to color and look at, morphs and changes all the time. So this is cool. Super cool. All right, and then I got two. I don't know why there's a sticker here, but there is. Okay. I got two Millie Murata's books. And they're both really dirty on the cover. And now that, like I said, now that I've started doing a lot of black and white books and the design books that I've started taking to work and really embracing that, I see this in a new light. Like I have new ideas on how to handle these pages. 2 years ago, I didn't like this. And I, of course, seen more books, and Color Creatively is changing my mind. Sandy at Color Creatively is changing my mind about these two. I've been watching what she does in them, and I'm like, she's winning me over. Also, Carrie K, winning me over on these. So, I really like Secrets of the Sea. I kind of refrained from buying a bunch of them in Vegas, and I'm glad I did, because when I got home, I looked on, somebody told me that one of the books I ordered that said it was like new and came with a gazillion pages colored in, it's called Mandala Meditation. Heidi told me that it was on Book Outlet, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll go look. And another Millie Murata book that I almost bought in Vegas was there, so I got that. I was able to get another 6 or however many books, I don't know, enough to reach 35. This book came seriously damaged. I don't know if you can see it because it's kind of hard to see, but it looks like in a box that was opened, it looked like it got thrown out of the box, flew on the floor because it's filthy, and it's seriously, it was really hard to take pictures for them. But now there were other books, like the Stoner book, the Totally Crunched Corner, which I didn't complain about. But this, like, every single page has, like, it looks like somebody kicked it. Every single page in the whole book. And the whole corner, it's hard to find something where you can see the whole corner. I don't know. It was really hard to photograph for them. I took a gazillion photos, and then my email would only take 6 or something. So I emailed them, and I was telling them about their box issues, because 3 of my orders, all the box came opened and seriously damaged, and I was trying to tell them about their box issue, and I wrote it very eloquently, very nice, non-threatening, etc. I listed all the order numbers, and then the thing came back and said you only have 500 characters. So I have to delete all the nice stuff I wrote, about telling you how their box issue is structurally unsound, and I'm a sculptor, I know these things, blah blah blah. It wasn't long, but it was more than 500 characters. So to try to get it down to 500 characters, I just list the facts. 3 boxes came open and damaged, and I'm only complaining about, one are, they're all a little crunched, but one is really crunched, and I would like it replaced. And then I sent pictures of the boxes. I didn't send pictures of the book. They're like, we need pictures of the book, and you got to show us that it's actually the book. I'm like, well, okay, I'll do that. So I did that, and then they come back with a very, the tone of the thing that they came back with was, this book is fine. It meets our standards of being okay to send to the public. These are overstock books. They've been leafed through the public, yada, yada, yada. And there were some sentences that were like, but because, this is how I read it. This is not what the sentence says, but the way it was worded was, because you F and B had the audacity to complain about this, we will do a one-time, like in big letters, one time we'll send you out another copy of this book. And I'm like, wow. I was just like flabbergasted by this response that I got. Like I said, it was written, in plain English, but the tone of it was just so offensive that I'm like, okay. And I've already got, another book on the way, another box of books on the way, and then this new one is coming. But it's like, my gosh, it's like, wow, I just, I don't know. I don't know that they're going to get any of my business in the future, because that was not nice. But and I had some good experiences. Like the books weren't too damaged like they were in the first order that I ever made. I'm like, oh, from now on I'm just gonna get my mythographic books there, and maybe all my Millie Murata books there that I may start collecting now, but I don't know. We shall see. I feel like they're going to pick out the worst possible book of this that they can and mail it to me in the worst possible box, just the way, based on their response to my inquiry. So anyways, that's my horrible story about Book Outlet, but most of them came okay, even though the boxes were like totally destroyed and opened. Anyway, I thank you for joining me. I appreciate your time. I hope you have a wonderful day, weekend, week, whatever it is for you when you're watching this. Live long and prosper. Bye-bye.